From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, August 13th, 2016. Silver is trading at $19.72 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,336 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $596. Antiwar.com reports 11 days ago the United States began bombing Libya as part of a request from the UN-backed Unity government, one of several would-be governments in that country. Though the U.S. has touted the military progress of this move, UN envoy to Libya, Martin Kobler, has warned that the Unity government is crumbling, with the public increasingly unwilling to back what was a few months ago touted as the best bet at unifying the country. Kobler noted that claims of 95% support for the new government's plans were long gone, saying the currency has dramatically weakened and power outages in the capital city of Tripoli have grown dramatically since that time. The Unity government has limited territory within Tripoli as one of two extant governments in that city alone. Still, that things have gotten progressively worse during their brief existence does not inspire confidence. Kobler added, strikes by the Americans alone cannot defeat the Islamic State. This is in stark contrast to U.S. claims that the fighting in the Islamic State city of Sirte is going particularly well. It might not ultimately matter a lot if the Unity government has no backing left by the time they win the city. Indeed, this could dramatically complicate the U.S. war in Libya, as it's been launched nominally at the request of the legitimate government of Libya, and even the pretense of the Unity government being that could quickly evaporate, both hurting the official narrative and eliminating the U.S. ally on the ground. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. UPI reports Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards declared a state of emergency on Friday following heavy rains and severe floodings that have so far resulted in one death and widespread damage. Severe weather soaked the Bayou State overnight, bringing more than a foot of rain to the region. Several areas were hit hard by storms, particularly in the northeastern part of the state. Flash flooding prompted multiple warnings by forecasters as the heavy rain is expected to continue at least until Saturday morning. By Friday afternoon, Edwards had declared a statewide emergency, making it available for state and federal aid, and ordered the emergency to remain in place until at least September 10th. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a federal judge on Friday overturned the murder conviction of one of two Wisconsin men serving life sentences for the 2005 slaying of a freelance photographer in a case spotlighted in the popular Netflix television documentary Making a Murderer. Magistrate Judge William Duffin ruled that the guilty verdict returned by a trial jury in 2007 against Brendan Dassey was based on a coerced confession he gave as a 16-year-old youth with a learning disability. Dassey and his uncle Stephen Avery were convicted in separate trials of killing freelance photographer Teresa Halbach at Avery's home. Halbach's charred remains were found in an incineration barrel and a burn pit on Avery's property about 80 miles north of Milwaukee. The case was the subject of the 10-part Netflix-released documentary Making a Murderer, which questioned the handling of the investigation and the motivation of the county law enforcement officials who sent Avery to prison in 1985 for a rape he did not commit. Avery served 18 years in prison before DNA evidence exonerated him of the rape. He filed a $36 million federal lawsuit against the county, its former sheriff, and district attorney in 2004. The judge, in his ruling on Friday, wrote that misconduct by Dassey's own lawyer was indefensible, including his permitting investigators to interrogate his client without being present. The judge also faulted Dassey's interrogation by investigators who assured the teenager he would not be punished if he admitted to participating in the offenses and that he had nothing to worry about. Dassey is set for release within 90 days unless prosecutors plan to retry him. Avery has filed a notice of appeal in his own case. His attorneys were not immediately available for comment. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.